See that? Cost 35p that did. What a cheap gag. How you doing tonight? You well? Yeah. Okay, good. Well, that concludes audience participation for this set. Let's move on. What can I tell you about myself? Don't really like being near microphone stands, and glad I got that out of the way. In case you haven't already picked up, this joke's going to include a lot of puns and one-liners, and not everyone likes a one-liner, but that doesn't really bother me because I'm into Schadenfreude. If you're not familiar with it, Schadenfreude is a German word, and it essentially means to take pleasure from the misfortune of others, which, in terms of German words, is pretty much par for the course. Now, my favourite German word, and let's be honest, we've all got one, is the German verb schockern, for which one possible translation is to remove the stones from underneath a train track, thus rendering the train track unusable. Clearly invented by a German losing at Scrabble. Incidentally, if you're interested, talk to me afterwards for more German words, weird and wonderful, including Röstgraben, a lack of understanding between French-speaking and German-speaking Swiss. Or another favourite, Backpfeifengesicht, a face badly in need of a punch. But back to Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude, for someone who tells corny one-liners, that sort of thing, is basically a win-win situation, because if you enjoy the jokes, I leave the stage feeling great. If you don't enjoy the jokes, I leave the stage feeling great. Win-win. Incidentally, Schadenfreude, for me at least, can manifest itself in several ways, the most common of which is the sort of self-satisfied smug grin, smiling. Then there's the slightly less common fist clench, and if you're very lucky, the seldom seen mock knee heel click when they make an appearance, so keep an eye out for them. In the meantime, on we go. I live in a house made of shoelaces. I've just been doing it up. No, I actually live in a giant blackboard. It's had a bit of work done on it. I should be designing my house, trying to get it to look more like a tree. I've been sprucing it up. I wasn't sure if I should get a neck brace, but I did, and I haven't looked back. My mum's always telling me I should spend more time exercising, caution and restraint. But if she's going to give the dog stupid names, I'm not going to walk them. I asked my friend if he wanted to go hunting. He said, sure, I'm game. So I shot him. Discount fishing line, it's the real deal. Drilling holes, that's boring. Nymphomaniac DIY, if it breaks, fuck it. How do you diagnose a skin irritation? You start from scratch. Don't you want me, baby? A line from the famous song by the Human League, or the name of a Cockney adoption agency. I thought I'd forgotten how to throw a boomerang, but it came back to me. I remember the time I made a short artistic film. It was just a single shot of a whale's limb. Fin. So I was talking to the butcher, and he said, how'd you like your meat cut? I said, lean. He said, how'd you like your meat cut? I'm not going to pontificate on this next issue because I don't actually know what that word means. I'm just going to move on. I'm getting revenge on my old HR department. This time, it's personnel. The other day, I was watching the news and there was a segment of this guy going, industry, exchange, enterprise, production, manufacturing. I thought, this guy means business. So I was showing my friend Michael around a film set and just explaining what everything was for. He pointed at something and said, what's that over there? I said, boom mic. He said, what's that over there? I have another friend. Excuse me, lucky me. I have another friend. And he said, can you do a joke about someone trying to do the splits? I thought, that'd be a stretch. I saw a sign that said climbing walls, built to scale. I thought, aren't they all? I didn't really want that pack of cards, but I dealt with it. I didn't really want to work with fly paper, but I stuck to it. I didn't really want to work with mould, but it grew on me. And my final one-liner, some advice. Never use the dictionary as a mode of transport. It'll take you forever to get from A to B. As you heard, that was my final one-liner, but there are two things I'd like to do before I go. The first is to briefly conquer my fear of microphone stands. That was easy. The second is I'd like to tell you about something which is of great importance to me, or at least it is for the sake of this next bit, so, you know, go with it. One of my major passions in life is horse racing. And what I'd like to do one day is own not just one, but several horses with various conflicting, confusing names, and then enter them all into the same race, just to confuse everyone listening at home. This is how I imagine it going in my head. Yes, good afternoon and welcome to this year's Tom Bollier's Grand Royale horse racing thingy. The contenders are all lining up at the start, but just before we get started, there have been a few late withdrawals from the race, including the allegations were never proved, oh dear God, they're coming out of the walls, and the favourite, personally, I always thought horse tasted better anyway. It seems we're just waiting for the starter, has in fact been allowed to run, and they're off, they're underway, races into an early lead, they're underway out in front, following their underway is just behind, he's going strong, is on the outside, and on the outside is that rather sinister looking horse. And as they approach the first, is currently at the back of the field, as the first jump comes into view. And there are some horses down. I can't see who appears to be down, along with some rather nasty business, and it seems that Jeremy Clarkson's face has also fallen. Several riders still in contention making progress on the inside line, but the inside line not letting him past. Silver Medal now runs into pole position, and they both fall. Going Strong now moves into first place. Now he's in the lead, moves into third, just behind, and round the bend they go, is trying to make up some ground. And with 1 furlong to go, has it all to do now as they approach the final jump of this surprisingly short racecourse. The leaders are clear, has fallen. What a marvellous recovery, has fallen. My wife is having an affair. And right now I can't help thinking that horse racing is a flawed concept, but it's still better than polo. Moves into 6th place. And now it appears to be a 2-horse race, is dropping behind, just behind and Going Strong. But now, a photo finish looks likely. Yes, he takes the inside line, he leaves in his dust, It looks like a photo finish, and yes, it's all over! We'll have to settle for 4th place this year. As a photo finish claims the title, just behind was Going Strong. My lungs are just about to burst, but I'd like to say thank you very much for watching this evening. I've been Matthew Grindrod, you guys have been fantastic. Good night, thank you.